Francis's gaze drifted back to Mason, his eyes narrowing. Mason didn't flinch, though. He crossed his arms, meeting the stare head-on. "Something on your mind?" he asked. Francis tilted his head, studying Mason a moment longer before speaking. "The Great One is black, like your friend here." "Well, that's a coincidence," he said. "But unless she's my long-lost aunt, I don't see how that changes anything." Francis blinked, caught off guard by Mason's calm wit. Catherine took a step forward, her voice warm. "Does that help us, Francis?" Francis shrugged, his gaze drifting to the flock of sheep grazing nearby. He turned his attention back to the sheep. "The Great One chooses whom she speaks to. You may not find her as you expect." The others waited, sensing that pushing for answers wouldn't work. Mason stayed relaxed, his eyes studying Francis, just as intently as Francis had studied him moments before. "Francis," she stepped closer to the shepherd. "Tell us about yourself. How did you become a shepherd? Have you always lived here in Muabog?" Francis smiled and loosened the grip on his staff. He turned his gaze to the surrounding hills. "I wasn't always a citizen of Muabog. I used to live in Scarborough." "What were you before?" Dennis asked. Francis smiled. "A shepherd. Always a shepherd. My father was a shepherd, and that's what I knew to do." A big grin spread across Francis's face as he puffed out his chest, standing a little taller. "I was the first citizen of Muabog." Jade's eyes widened. "How long ago was that?" Francis's grin faltered as he frowned and scratched his head. "I'm not sure. I'm not always awake, you see. When it gets dark, my sheep and I sleep." Catherine frowned and shook her head. "How many days do you remember being awake here?" Francis waved her question away, flicking his fingers. "I don't worry about such things," he said. His gaze drifted toward the rolling hills around them. "I'm the patron saint of sheep. Time matters little to me." Suddenly, his expression shifted, his eyes widening. He raised his staff toward the group, pointing it directly at them. "You should touch my staff." They all stepped back. "No way," Mason said. "We heard we'll turn into sheep if we touch it." Francis chuckled. "Best you not touch it, then." He placed the staff back on the ground. Get the Timothy Tibb epic fantasy thriller book series now.